There are tons of factors that go into what people love about an amusement park, and arguably the most important one is the roller coasters themselves. So today I will be ranking the top 15 amusement parks solely based on their collection of roller coasters. So if you are a thrill seeker, these are the places that you are going to want to visit. Quick disclaimer, I have not been to most of the parks I'm going to list here, but over the past couple years of being a coaster enthusiast, I have done a ton of research into every single one of these parks, and I spent a lot of time putting together this ranking. This is one of the most popular Six Flags parks, headlined by the duo of RMC's Iron Rattler and Wonder Woman Golden Lasso coaster. This year they added a great B&M coaster in Dr. Diabolical's Cliffhanger to go along with Superman Krypton coaster and Goliath. They also have the launch coaster Poltergeist, a free spin with Batman the Ride, and a spinning coaster Pandemonium to go along with one of the best mine trains out there. Overall, their supporting collection is very solid, but what puts this park on the list is their outstanding top 2. Probably my biggest bucket list park is Fuji-Q Highland, a park that is the definition of quality over quantity. The park only has 6 coasters, but among those are 4 of the craziest roller coasters in the entire world. Fujiyama is a massive hypercoaster from Togo that features a ton of huge drops, Takabisha features a crazy drop angle of 121 degrees, and Dodonpa features an unbelievably powerful launch accelerating from 0 to 112 miles an hour in 1.6 seconds. The park's headline attraction is Egenika, a 4th dimension coaster that is one of the greatest thrill rides ever built. Canada's Wonderland has 3 great B&M coasters with Leviathan, Behemoth, and Yukon Striker, but after that the lineup really drops off. The next best coaster is the Aero suspended coaster Vortex, and then a couple of average wooden coasters. The rest of the lineup has a Boomerang, an Aero Looper, a Wild Mouse, a few other family thrill coasters, and then at the bottom are 2 of the worst roller coasters in the world, with the infamous duo of Flight Deck and Time Warp. The top 3 coasters are great, but not enough to put it over the next park, which is... This park features what might be the greatest coaster duo in the world, with the intense G-Force machine Intimidator 305 contrasted by an Airtime machine in Twisted Timbers. Beyond that, they have Dominator, a floorless coaster, as well as a Flight of Fear launch coaster, and Grizzly, a wooden coaster. They just opened the free spin Tumbili, which adds another ride to their supporting collection. Outside of the top 2, their coaster collection is pretty average, but Intimidator 305 and Twisted Timbers are so good that because of them this park deserves a spot on the list. While this park is well known for its great atmosphere and scenery, this video is just based on the coaster lineup, so BGW only places at number 11. At the top we have the new for 2022 launch coaster Pantheon, and then the park's B&M trio with Apollo's Chariot, Griffin, and Alpengeist. They also have the well-themed launch coaster Verbolten, the classic Looper in Loch Ness Monster, as well as Tempesto and Invader. The addition of Pantheon really gives this park a solid spot on the list, as it was the elite coaster they needed. Carowinds is headlined by the world's tallest Giga coaster in Fury 325, which is known as one of the best roller coasters in the world. But there is also a great supporting collection with their diverse launch coaster Copperhead Strike, as well as the floater airtime-filled Intimidator and the intense Afterburn. Beyond that are a few older extreme coasters with Nighthawk, Carolina Cyclone, Flying Cobras, Vortex, and the wooden coaster Hurler. Like Canada's Wonderland, this park is very top-heavy, but both the top rides and the supporting rides are at a higher quality. Nagashima's best coaster is easily Hakuge, their colossal RMC hybrid coaster that is known for being one of the greatest coasters ever built. Their other standout coaster is the very underrated looking Steel Dragon 2000, which is the world's longest roller coaster. They also have the B&M flying coaster with Acrobat, possibly the world's most intense SNES free spin Arashi, as well as a very unique Ultra Twister coaster. The supporting lineup is very unique, but still has a few quality rides, and their headlining attractions are some of the world's best. Great America is well known for its outstanding top 3 with the RMC Goliath, the B&M Hyper Raging Bull, and the SNS Air Launch Max Force. They also have 3 other B&M coasters with a Batman clone, an Ultimate Flight clone, and the Wing Coaster X-Flight. American Eagle and Viper are more classic wooden coasters to contrast Goliath, Joker is a free spin, and Flash Vertical Velocity is a unique shuttle launch coaster. I would argue that this park needs one ultra elite standout coaster, but currently they are in a great spot in terms of coasters. With recently opening up Iron Gwazi, this park now has an amazing standout attraction that really boosts this lineup that was previously full of all supporting coasters. Montu and Kumba are both well-loved B&M loopers, and Shikra is the park's dive coaster and a magnet for the general public. Cheetah Hunt gives the park a fun launch coaster as well as Tigris. Then Cobra's Curse is regarded as one of the best family coasters out there. I really hope that this park gets some sort of an Intamin Mega Coaster or B&M Hyper in the future, as that would give them a second airtime machine. Kings Island has a really solid top 5 with the B&M Giga Orion, the B&M Hyper Diamondback, the GCI Mystic Timbers, the inverted coaster Banshee, and the classic wooden coaster The Beast. Beyond that is Flight of Fear, a premier launch coaster, Racer, a classic wooden coaster, Invertigo, a boomerang, and Adventure Express, which is a really fun mine train. The park has a lot of very high quality attractions, but the one thing that would put them at a higher spot on the list would be an ultra elite stand-up coaster like an RMC or a Mach Extreme Spinner. El Toro is the standout coaster here and one of the best wooden coasters in the world. Pair that with a fun RMC single rail in Jersey Devil and the world's tallest coaster in King Dakar for a great top 3, maybe even replacing one of these with Nitro the B&M Hyper. The park also has a couple other B&Ms with a Batman clone and Ultimate Flight Cone, the floorless coaster Medusa, and the stand-up Green Lantern. The park also has a Free Spin and a Dark Knight Wild Mouse. The park lacks a more traditional launch coaster with a longer layout, but their lineup is already very solid and earns them a high spot on the list. Hershey Park already has a very well-rounded lineup filled with great rides, with their Intamin trio of Skyrush, Stormrunner, and Fahrenheit, alongside the B&M Hyper Candymonium. Next year, it's pretty much confirmed that they will be RMCing Wildcat, forming an insane 1-2 punch with Skyrush. Hershey Park also has many solid supporting coasters with Great Bear the inverted coaster, wooden coasters Lightning Racer and Comet, and the classic Super Duper Looper. I'm recording this video a little over a week before it's published, so I don't know how the whole RMC Wildcat thing will turn out, but I do know that it will most certainly give this park a boost over Great Adventure. Zadra and Hyperion make up this park's elite top 2, followed up by a couple of Vekoma launch coasters with Abyssus and Formula. Beyond that are a few lower tier roller coasters and kids rides, but next year they should be getting that Vekoma Tilt Track roller coaster. This will hopefully be a more intense ride than Abyssus turned out, and finally give the park their 3rd ultra elite coaster. Energylandia will need a few more good supporting coasters in order to reach the number 2 spot, but trust me, that day will come. With the addition of Wonder Woman Flight of Courage in 2022, Magic Mountain now has yet another standout coaster in its collection. At the top are X2 and Twisted Colossus, which are interchangeable in terms of which is the best in the park. They also have a few intense B&M loopers with Tatsu, a flying coaster, Riddler's Revenge, a stand-up, and a Batman clone. Adding onto that are a couple great premier launch coasters, classic aero coasters, and the first ever coaster to hit 100 miles an hour, with Superman Escape from Krypton. I'm sure this isn't surprising to any of you, but Cedar Point takes the top spot on this list. With the addition of next year's Wild Mouse, and assuming Top Thrill Dragster opens up again, the park is tied for the 3rd most coasters in any amusement park. At the top is the best big 3 of any amusement park with Millennium Force, Maverick, and Steel Vengeance, the latter of which has been widely regarded as a top 3 roller coaster in the world since it opened. Beyond that are many roller coasters that would be considered standouts if they were at any other park, but because they're at Cedar Point, it's just another roller coaster. Magnum, Dragster, Raptor, Gatekeeper, and Valraven are all amazing supporting coasters, and Cedar Point also has a great collection of family coasters. If you love big ranking videos, make sure to check out my ranking of the world's best roller coasters. Make sure you are subscribed, and I'll see you next time.